So I'm thinking to myself what I'm going to say to them as they're approaching, and I'm thinking, listen,
I'm so sorry.
if I'd have known then what I know
And
now,
then he got up to me
there
and
would have been room in my
he's
head.
looking at the
Boy,
ground.
hey, I would have given him my own bed. But I didn't know.
Winces ever so slightly.
How could I know, right?
And he looks up at me and he says,
Bethlehem was so full of people. It was packed.
that's all he said.
The government, they made everybody in the whole world go back to their hometown.
Let me tell you a story.
to
I'm
register.
5 years old, right?
Government's
I'm
got
helping my
money.
mother set the table.
And since nobody
she's
should
got
stay
one
with
too
their
many plates, I
in-laws,
said, hey, Mom, you got one too many plates. And she
I
looks at me
remember
and
that
says,
day.
you never
We
know
were
who's going to
full
show
before
up.
dinner time. Now
And I
here it
said,
is, 2 or 3
what?
hours after dinner.
She comes
they
walking
show
over to me and
up.
she says, you
Talk about
always
desperate.
make room. You
He was
never know who God might
exhausted.
send by.
Scared. She was about to
So I
give
look back
birth.
at the couple.
So I'm thinking to myself what I'm going to say to them
I don't
as
know
they're
where we're
approaching,
gonna
and I'm
put you,
thinking,
but we'll
so
make room.
sorry, I don't have room.
And we did.
And then he got up to
Nicest
his room.
He's
He's
all I had
looking
to
at the
offer.
ground, just kind of collecting
You know
his
what?
thoughts.
Mom was
And
right.
she winces ever so
You
slightly.
always make room. You never
And he looks
know
up
who
at
God
me
might
and he
send
says,
by.
please. That's all he said. Please. Let me tell you a story. I'm 5 years old, right? I'm helping my mother set the table, and I notice she's got one too many plates. I said, hey, Ma, you got one too many plates. And she looks at me and she says, you never know who's going to show up. And I said, what? She comes walking over to me and she says, you always make room. You never know who God might send by. So I look back at the couple and I say, I don't know where we're going to put you, but we'll make room. And we did. It wasn't the nicest room, but it was all I had to offer them. And you know what? Mom was right. You always make room. You never know who God might send by. What kind of king would leave his throne in heaven to make this earth his home, while men seek fame and great renown in low